Guys, finally, it's selling in the States. Juicebox's 54 has officially launched in the States, and it's currently exclusively selling at Lucksycent, linked in the info box. Go check it out over there. But I'm going to tell you about Juicebox's 54 now, in case you haven't heard about what it's all about. Also, give you some dates to events that we're doing for Juicebox's 54. And then some channel updates as well. I wanted to combine these items here in this video as it might be somewhat related. So find out about all of this stuff, including the launch of 54 in the States, coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sebastian. I'm talking to you about Juicebox's 54, which is exclusively selling now at Lucksycent, linked in the info box. There is a discount code there. The Perfume Guy saves you 10% off if you use that code, or you can get the sample set with 5 samples, and that code is Juicebox. Or there was actually supposed to be an Atomizer giveaway with the purchase. It's either one of the items. You can't combine. So the Atomizer, if it's coming, I'm not 100% sure. It might, and you could use that to get the Atomizer with the purchase, and that's to be determined. But there is a discount code if you're willing to get a bottle. It saves you 10% off. So if you don't know about Juicebox's 54, it's a fragrance I collaborated with Juicebox, and I selected the perfumer Julien Rasquinet to create a fragrance inspired by Studio 54. Juicebox basically came to me and asked me if I was interested in collaborating on a fragrance with them. And I love music. I worked in the music business before, and we had a connection with Andrea and Chiara, who run Juicebox. And, you know, we were sharing music things together and so on. And so they asked me, I said, of course I would love to collaborate. I've always loved the idea of music and perfume. And going through their catalog, I went through to see what they had done, because I was familiar with their fragrances because I knew about them from a long time ago, because they are the same folks that are behind Costume National. So I was curious, because they end up using the same perfumers that they've used at Costume National. So I knew about the brand, but I didn't know what music inspirations they had done. And going through all of the fragrances, studying and learning what they had done, I noticed that they were all around genres or singers or bands, nothing around a nightclub. And I told them, I think this is the idea we should work on. A fragrance inspired by a nightclub, the infamous Studio 54 in New York City, that was around in a very short-lived nightclub from the late 70s to the early 80s. A club that I wanted to go to, but I was so young at that time. I was not even 10 years old when that club premiered. And I was like, what, 12 years old by the time it folded. So it's a club or nightclub that I've always wanted to go to. And now we can go there with this fragrance. What I was after with this fragrance was to make sure it has patchouli. I know patchouli was a very popular note in the 70s, perhaps a little earlier as well. And the fragrances of those at that era, they were all very heavy and very, offered a lot of projection and sillage. So I wanted to make sure this was the experience with this fragrance. I've gone to many clubs myself, especially in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s. I used to go to clubs a lot and dancing a lot in a kind of a cool air-conditioned nightclub with warm bodies dancing and gyrating, projecting perfume. If they're wearing perfume, then you'd smell it in a cloud. And it was the best way for me to discover fragrances when I went to a club, and I would ask somebody what they're wearing. So I was trying to capture that experience here with 54, and the fact that it does do that when you wear this fragrance. It has a lot of great projection and sillage and so on. So that's what I was trying to capture with this fragrance, and working along Julien Rasquinet after, fine-tuning my idea and theme and everything, and then focusing on the patchouli and building around that, we came up with 54, and it's something I really, really love. You know that I already love patchouli quite a bit. It's my favorite note. I speak about it quite a bit, and a lot of people complain that I love patchouli too much, but it absolutely is one of my favorite notes, because it not only smells great, it provides that sillage and projection, and that's exactly what I wanted here. But this is kind of a modern take on a patchouli focused fragrance. First off, it's boozy because it has Pina Colada, there's cardamom here, there's Davana, there's also cinnamon here, and saffron and Nagarmotha. Along with the patchouli, there's vanilla, there's tobacco, there's also rum, there's sandalwood. Wonderful combination and an amazing smelling fragrance. Depending on who you are, you might pick up different things. Some people get a lot of booziness right up front. Some people get a lot of patchouli, or the cinnamon kind of comes through for some people. Or for me, it's patchouli, and when I'm wearing it on my hands, it kind of settles to like a milk chocolate effect or chocolate milk effect, which is super, super delicious. It's very warm. It's very, very spicy, and going into, colder autumn months and of course into the winter months, this is going to be perfectly satisfactory for people. It smells amazing. So we wanted to capture that nightclub if it was around today. So not making the fragrance classic, but utilizing that classic note that's been used quite a bit, patchouli, in a fragrance like this. So I'm very happy with the result of this fragrance. And I hope you guys get to discover it, enjoy it as well. And so now it's selling at Lucksycent. They have a 2-week exclusive, so it'll start selling at other retailers that sell Jusbox in November. But for the time being, for the 2 weeks or so, it's only selling at Lucksycent. And again, as I said, there's a discount code. There's a 5 sample set. You can get samples of Jusbox with a purchase. If you put in the code Jusbox, the 10% off is the Perfume guy. And then also, if the Atomizer shows up, then I'm sure they'll have a code there. But yeah, get your bottles now, and I'm going to give you some more information as well for some dates and things like that. But if you've already got your bottle, let me know what your thoughts are on the fragrance as well. The consensus seems to be very positive, and I'm also getting a lot of compliments and people asking me what I'm wearing and things like that. The projection and sillage is perfect for this. I'm also an oversprayer, so I spray a lot and I leave a trail because my body's always warm. I'm walking quite a bit, and it just amplifies off of me, and people end up asking me what I'm wearing, which is what I wanted. I wanted people to ask me the fragrance I'm wearing, and I love getting compliments. And some of you complain you don't ever get compliments. Maybe spray bit more, when you get your bottle of 54, not if you're used to doing 2 sprays, maybe amp it up, like do like 5 sprays, 6 sprays, and see if you get compliments after that. But I get compliments all the time because I'm also wearing a lot of sprays, and I love that about this fragrance, because it not only smells great, people seem to like it on me as well. Anyway, so it's linked in the info box for Lucksycent. Go check it out over there. But we do have some events that are happening starting with Lucksycent. So we've got 2 events on the West Coast with Chiara, who is the sister of the Jusbox team. We're doing an event on the 7th at Lucksycent. The location to be determined and also the time to be determined. Most likely it's in the late afternoon. Then on the 9th, we're also doing an event here in San Francisco at ZGO Perfumery, and the time to be determined. I think it's going to be even a later event, but we'll let you guys know when all that stuff is happening. I will update you guys as much as I can so you don't miss out. I'll post everywhere and also most likely do an updated video. But there's an event on November 7th in LA at Lucksycent, the location to be determined and the time to be determined, and an event at ZGO Perfumery here in San Francisco on the 9th. So the 7th in LA, San Francisco on the 9th, with Chiara, who is the sister of the Jusbox team. Now, fast forward to December, there's an event on the 5th of December at Perfumology and an event at ScentXplore on the 7th. And I'll have more info on those. Perfumology will be in the late afternoon, I believe, evening. ScentXplore will be on an all-day thing. I think 7th is a Saturday, so it's an all-day with some slots. Perfumology in the evening. But we'll update you on those as well. I'll be at all 4 events, obviously. But on the East Coast, we've got Andrea of Jusbox attending those, not Chiara, who is the sister, doing the West Coast. So that's all for Jusbox's 54. And again, if you've already gotten your nose on 54, let me know. I've already updated you guys also with which countries is selling. I think from what I was told by Jusbox, everywhere that sells Jusbox fragrances should be selling this fragrance now. And you guys were asking about Canada. I think it's a bit up in the air, just like Australia. So soon, most likely, they will arrive at the retailers that sell juice box fragrances in Canada. And then I believe that Australia was, they were kind of in the middle of distributors. So I think that should resolve itself very soon as well. But go catch my previous video where I tell you all the countries and territories it's currently selling. Of course, it's selling in Paris at Printemps and London Harrods, soon at Selfridges. So many different stores will be getting the fragrance. And it's an exciting fragrance, guys, so get your nose on it soon. And again, linked at Lucksycent below. Now let's move on to a couple of channel updates types themes I want to discuss. I'm trying to make this video as short as possible. But the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is ScentClub Kits. So we dropped the ScentClub Kit in August, but a week and a half later we closed our store because I left to Europe. I did the Juice Box event at Harrods, and so we did not sell out of the kit number 11. So we still have kit number 11 selling. And if you don't remember what was in kit number 11, we had Fresh Passiflore, which is this one from the house of Maître Parfumeur at Gantier. We have Malamata from the house of Rus and Rus. And we have Wave Child from the house of Room 1015. So those three fragrances are in kit number 11. So get your kits before we run out. We're going to shut the store down again as come next week I'm going to Dubai, and we're shutting the store for about 2 weeks. So if you're on the market or in the market to buy or discover new fragrances and you haven't checked out kit number 11 and 12, which I'm going to get to here in a little bit, get the kits now and we can ship them just before we leave. So a little bit more about these fragrances. Fresh Passiflore seems to be a very popular fragrance over at ZGO Perfumery. It's a peachy passion fruit floral. So it's a fruity floral fragrance. Smells super delicious, very drippy, juicy peaches, and fantastic fragrance. Amazing. This stuff is so good. Created by Jean-Francois Laporte for the house of Maître Parfumeur at Gantier. Here with Malamata from Rus and Rus, it's a Dominique Ropian creation. This might be the most challenging fragrance for people, but it's a green bomb. It's an overdose of green. And I think not very many people like green fragrances. I absolutely love the smell of greens, vegetation, herbs, and green flowers and things like that. So this is basically that with a lot of galbanum. An amazing fragrance that's created by Dominique Ropian. So that is the second fragrance in the kit number 11. Finally, Wave Child. Wave Child is also a really yummy watermelon-y fragrance. Once again, a fruity fragrance, but a bit more coconutty, creamy as well. Super delicious, very playful, young, energetic, and just a really fun type of fragrance. So could come off a bit young, but it's super fun to wear the fragrance. It's a bit like Hubba Bubba Bubblegum, maybe the watermelon flavor kind of a thing. But this one's created by Jerome de Marino. I recently spoke about him with the new extracts of Un Nuit Nomade. So if you haven't caught that video, please go catch it. And I mentioned in that video, those are great fragrances by Un Nuit Nomade, by the way. But I mentioned in that video, we should keep an eye out on Jerome de Marino because he's a really great perfumer, really enjoying what he's releasing lately. So that's kit number 11. And then just last weekend, we dropped kit number 12, which has three amazing autumn appropriate fragrances. The first of which is Imperial Peacock by Alexander J. And I mentioned in that video that this fragrance is now sold at Neiman Marcus. After I did my video, I actually shot the video before I left to Europe, and I coordinated with the brand to provide this fragrance, the juice for this fragrance, months before. So when I left to Europe, I found out from the brand that they just got a Neiman Marcus deal, and they're very excited. So this collection from the house of Alexander J is now selling at Neiman Marcus. But the fragrance itself is quite pricey. This is just under $400. It's a gorgeous looking bottle though too. But that's featured here in the kit number 12. It's a vanillic amber gourmand, kind of a nutty fragrance. So delicious, guys. Created by Amélie Bourgeois. And then this one, I couldn't believe I got. I'm so grateful. Absolutely love this fragrance. It's more leaning masculine. This is Rogue Perfumery's Mousse Illuminée. But this is a very green, slightly boozy, mossy fougere fragrance. It's absolutely amazing. If you haven't tried that fragrance, you're going to want to try it in the kit here. It's absolutely fantastic. One of my all-time favorites since 2019. I highly, highly recommend it. From an indie artisanal brand, Perfumer is Manuel Cross. And then last but not least, it's Voyage Imaginaire's L'Eau d'Immortelle here, this one right here. This, if you didn't catch last week, it's an all-natural perfume. So everything is 100% natural with the brand, and created by Isabelle Doyen and Camille Goutal, who were perfumers over at Annick Goutal, and Camille Goutal is the daughter of Annick Goutal. So this is almost like a fragrance inspired by Sabla, because they created it for Annick Goutal here, but this is a lot more robust. It's also a lot more ambery. Immortelle is here, very, very prominent. So it's a very interesting grassy autumn-like note, perfect for autumn wear, I think. And it's perfectly captured here with a very ambery backbone and a bit of gourmand chocolate thrown in. So super delicious. So grateful to have these 3 amazing fragrances for this kit, guys. Really, really great fragrances. And that kit is now selling. And again, as I said, the store's going to close here in a bit. If you're in the market for some new fragrances, get your kits 11 and 12 before we shut down the store for about 2 weeks. And then we get back to November. I don't think we're going to have any closures in November. In December, probably, when I go to the East Coast. But yeah, get your kits now. And then let me talk to you guys a little bit about the next mystery box that's to drop sometime within the next month and a half. Look out for that. It's going to be a big one. It's a big, big kit. I have coordinated such a variety of fragrances for the next mystery box number 5. We're also doing a more quantity of them. And so, because the holidays, people want these fabulous kits. They're really, really great kits, and I've got amazing fragrances. Just to also reiterate, the regular kits are fragrances that I really love and speak about. The mystery boxes are mostly new launches from brands I respect or some new brands I've discovered. So that's the difference between the 2 types of kits. And so, yeah, we have increased the quantity of the next mystery box just because in time for the holidays and things like that. And then after that, we have another regular kit launching, which will be number 13, and the year will be over. So that's the deal with the ScentClub kits and the mystery boxes. The next thing I want to talk to you guys is please, please, please help me get to 300,000 subscribers. Currently just under 289,000. And we've got, what, a week left and also 2 months to get just under 12,000 subscribers. Once you guys help me get to 300,000 subscribers, I've got a big, big surprise that I'm going to do here on the channel. I've been kind of talking about it, and I'm mulling the idea through my head, but I don't think anybody's done this before. So this is going to be a really fun, big surprise. And the cool thing is, I'm going to give you a clue as to what it is. Maybe you might get it, maybe you won't. But YouTube has a new feature for me to discover who are my top followers. So that is the clue I'm giving you guys. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please, please, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any content going forward, and you're going to help me get to 300,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you did subscribe. If you haven't, just click the button below. I have a link in the info box that will take you directly to subscribe. It will kind of direct you to subscribe to the channel. So yeah, we just need around 11 to 12,000 subscribers to reach 300, and once I do, and I'm hoping it's going to be by the end of the year so I can do this big surprise for you guys. And just keep in mind, YouTube has a new feature that tells me who are my top followers. So if you have not been following me and participating and commenting on the channel, maybe start now. Anyway, that's the clue I'm giving you guys. But yes, please help me get to 300,000 subscribers just before the year is over. And the last thing I want to talk about, 2 more things I want to talk to you about. What do you want to see on the channel? So the rest of the year is going to be very busy for me because of Jusbox's 54, all the events, and then also I'm leaving to Dubai next week for Beauty World Middle East. So I'll be gone for about 2 weeks and then come back and go to LA, and then ZGO event here for 54. Then in December we've got the Perfumology and ScentXplore trip that I have to do. So the rest of the year is going to be busy. So you might see shorter content on the channel, not long like before. I like to do longer content because YouTube tends to like these videos and they promote the longer videos compared to shorter videos. But you might see shorter content because I'm not going to have a lot of time prepping the videos for a while. So it takes a while to prep the long form videos and the lists. So as I said, you're going to probably see shorter content, more like reviews and of single fragrances and or like short lists and things like that. Maybe potentially a lot of content shot with brands and things like that as well. But do let me know what you like to see on the channel, and hopefully I can start producing that kind of content for you guys, because I enjoy producing content on fragrances, and there's a whole big studio here full of fragrances that I can actually speak about and things like that. I do like to talk about all kinds of fragrances. I do include cheapies here and there. Recently I spoke about Ben Simon's 1993 Cologne 1993 amazing cheapie for about 35 euros in France from the Ben Simon store. It's created by Pierre Bourdon, and it's a kind of a musc-ravageur animalic style amber fragrance. Really amazing fragrance. If you didn't catch that video, go catch it. But yeah, I like to cover cheapies. I like to cover expensive fragrances, luxury, niche, great designer fragrances. Like I recently did a short on the new Boss bottled Absolu. Absolutely amazing designer fragrance. I think it's even better than the Elixir, and Annick Menardo and Suzy Laheli knocked it out of the park with that one. It's a really, really great fragrance. Fragrance that smells like it would be more in line with niche offerings versus designers, because most designers tend to smell very similar. And glad that I'm seeing designer fragrances smelling different, especially this Boss bottled Absolute. But yeah, I did try to cover all kinds of things on the channel, and so let me know what you want to see more of, as long as it smells good. And I try not to do negative fragrance reviews, but sometimes I have to. But I share exactly what I experience. If I don't like a fragrance, I will let you know. But if I stumble onto a brand and everything is something I'm not really enjoying, I probably will never do a video about it individually, because everything, it's a lot of effort to do a video, and if it's all negative, then I'm not doing that. But I will mention in other videos, I've sampled this and that, I didn't like it, I loved it, I kind of liked it, all of that stuff. And if there's one or two fragrances within a brand that I like, and I have the opportunity to do a brand overview, I will let you know. Sometimes fragrances just don't click with me, and I plan on not doing videos on those fragrances or that whole entire house if they seem to be a bit underwhelming. But yeah, do let me know what you want to see on the channel. I'd like to find out. The only other thing I want to mention is, remember I had mentioned that I was working on 2 fragrances, and 2 were launching. One is Jusbox, which was the second fragrance I started working on, which launched first. So the first fragrance I started working on is kind of making a little progress, but I'm not 100% sure it's going to launch by the end of the year. We shall see. Who knows? It's from a small artisanal house. It's not a big fragrance. I went to the brand myself and asked them, we are connected in some ways, let's do collaboration. So that will come eventually. I'm just not sure if it's going to come by the end of the year. If it doesn't come by the end of the year, but I think by February, March, I think it should launch. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. It's a really great fragrance. It's different than Jusbox's 54. It's a gourmand, but green. Different. Very creamy. This one, 54, has creamy elements, but the other one doesn't have any patchouli whatsoever. It has a lot of greenness. I'm going to give you a clue. It has cannabis. There you go. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. 54 is finally available in the States. It's selling at Lucksycent now. It's linked in the info box. Go check it out over there and take advantage of the code. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.